Welcome to episode 5 of Inclusion with Mansi. I'm your host, Mansi Chandorkar. Each week, we are going to discuss various areas of inclusion and how you can be an inclusion champion. Since October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, we will be listening to individuals with dyslexia and other stakeholders share their journey with us. Today, we are going to be in conversation with Ruhaan Agarwal, who is currently studying in class 10. He has been one of my students and has a special interest in horses. Welcome, Ruhaan, to this podcast. I am so happy you are here to share your journey with others. Ruhaan, can you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, my name is Ruhaan Agarwal. I'm currently studying in 10th standard in Orchid School, Banir, Pune.
Okay. Can you tell us something about your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Oh, my hobbies are completely about horses. I like to ride horses. I like to be with horses. I like to work with horses.
Okay, that's quite interesting. And I know you're doing quite a lot of it with that, right?
Yeah,
You've also taken part in a few competitions,
yeah, I have played state level competitions and I had got a bronze and a silver.
which is so awesome, right? That must have felt really cool to get
Yeah.
certificates and medals. And did you show them off in school?
No, I didn't show them in school. My currently that time exams were going on later.
Yeah, and your name did come in the paper also, right? For it in the newspaper.
Yeah,
Your mom had sent a clipping to school to show all the
yeah,
teachers on how proud she was of you
yeah,
that you've achieved so
yeah,
much, which is, I think, so cool.
yeah.
What is something that you consider to be your strengths?
Basically, I like sports. I like to play a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I like riding.
So, any activity based things are things that you feel are your strengths, and that's something that you really like to do.
Yeah.
So, everyone has strengths and everyone has things that they struggle with also.
hmm
You have struggled with some things in school. Would you like to discuss that with us today?
Yeah. In school, I used to struggle with math a lot,
Hmm.
and there was some difficulties reading, and with writing also.
So, when did you realize that reading, writing, and math are tough for you?
When I was in fourth or fifth standard.
Fourth or fifth standard. That's when you thought that it was getting tougher. And what happened after that? Did you get any kind of help? Who was there
Yeah.
to support you with that?
Yeah, so in school I was given concessions like in the exams like extra time.
Hmm.
I was given a reader and a writer,
Hmm.
which helped a lot actually. Because writing and reading were difficult for me, generally difficult for me.
Yeah. So, and did you think that was an advantage for you? Or did you think that you are at the same level as everyone else with your reader and writer?
I thought it was at the same level because I had some problems reading and writing.
Yeah, and it is a genuine difficulty that you have, and it was leveling
Yeah,
up the field for you. So, it
yeah,
just for people who don't know about concessions that are given, that they're not given as an advantage to anyone. It is as simple as needing glasses to read, and then to
yeah.
say that, that's something I need to read. So, when did school start giving you the concessions? Did you go in for some assessments?
Yeah, I had done some assessments with the Sassoon Hospital and the MDA.
Yeah. And so there was some kind of diagnosis that was discussed with you. When did you realize what those labels are and what they mean?
Yeah, I was told by my mom near in sixth standard, fifth, sixth standard. Yeah, I was told by my mom. I was aware of those.
You were aware. And did it help to know that you had a particular kind of difficulty? Did it help to put labels and say, okay, this is dysgraphia and because of this I'm struggling, or this is dyscalculia and because of that I'm struggling? Or
No,
did it not really make any difference to you?
it didn't make any difference. I knew that I was just struggling.
You knew you were struggling and you were getting help, right?
Yeah.
You did receive remediation support.
Mm.
You had your mother who was there to support you to deal
Mhm.
with whatever the difficulties are.
Yeah.
So in that manner, then what the labels are made absolutely no difference.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So what do you think help you cope with your difficulties? Was there a particular person or a particular strategy or something that happened that helped you cope?
Mm. Yeah. I used to practice reading,
Hmm.
a little bit of writing also. In math, I needed a lot of extra help, which you, Mansidi, helped in school.
Yeah, you used to come regularly to the resource room where you used to get one on
Yeah.
one support
Yeah.
and, clarify your concepts, practice
Yeah.
your basics, and figure that out.
Yeah.
So,
And tuitions
yeah,
also at home also. I used to try at least to cope with math, reading, and writing.
yeah. And all that effort that has been put in has helped you become a better reader and write slightly
Yeah.
better than you were writing when you began,
Yeah.
right? So you did learn a lot of strategies in remediation. You practice them in tuitions, you
Yeah.
practice them at home, and that is something that has helped you.
Yeah.
Is there any adult or a peer or a friend or anyone that has supported you a lot in your whole journey?
Yeah, Mama has supported me, you have supported me, and my tuition teacher, Mrs. Modi,
Yeah.
Nita Modi, she also has.
And it does help to have people who support you and who believe in you that you
Yeah,
are someone who can do this,
yeah, of course, yeah.
right? If How was the reaction of your subject teachers in school with you? Were they also supportive, or you found that there were some struggles over there?
They were supportive a lot. They were supportive.
Yeah, and they did do a few things differently for you in class as well, right?
Yeah,
So, what are some things that you would like to tell teachers who are subject teachers, class teachers, that what are things that they can do slightly differently that helped you and that would help children who have similar difficulties as you?
yeah. So, like, I was not ready when suddenly sometimes teacher used to ask me to read this question or answer the question in the class suddenly.
Hmm.
So if I got a little heads up, so I would be prepared for reading or answering the question, which helped.
Hmm. What else helped you in the class that they did?
Yeah, I was given some reduced homework,
Hmm.
reduced classwork writing.
Yeah. And that come with, if you don't do it, it's okay?
No,
Or did that also come with expectation that I expect you to submit it and I know you're capable of doing this, so you will complete this much by this time?
yeah, they expected me whatever work they have given. They had given me lesser work and a little bit more simplified. They had explained me more detailed after the general instruction in the class,
Yeah.
which helped.
Yeah.
But they expected me to complete the work.
Yeah. So it's not that just because you have a difficulty, it's okay if you don't do it at all. Expectations are there. And
Yeah,
do you think it's important to have these expectations?
yeah. So if there are expectations, then only will I will try to to
Yeah. Absolutely.
push myself self and where I can get.
You can do better, and that
Yeah.
you know that your teachers expect you to do this because they believe in you that at least this much the Ruhan can do.
Yeah.
And then once he does this much, then we'll push him a little more so he can do a little more.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, those are some good tips that you've given, that even after you've given group instructions, one to give one on one instructions just to clarify that you've understood what has to be done. Saying it in shorter sentences helps you comprehend it
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
To give some
Yeah.
reduced work so that the workload is manageable,
Mm-hmm.
keeping in mind your difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
And also something important that you said was that, that it helped if they gave you a little heads up, like, okay, Ruhan, the third question is yours, so be prepared to
Yeah,
answer it.
right.
Or if they told you that, okay, in class this is the passage you have to read, so you can practice it and keep it ready, so when your turn comes you're more comfortable reading it.
Mm-hmm.
So those are a few things that the teachers can do in class to help you and to help students who are struggling.
Yeah.
What is something that you would like to tell parents who have students who are struggling, who have children who are struggling?
Okay. My mother was very supportive.
Hmm.
She wanted that I worked hard,
Yeah.
like to push myself, and she wanted me to reach till I can.
Yeah.
She did not expect me to do what I cannot do. She always expected that what I can do with is within my limits.
Yeah.
She always pushed me in that way, even if I get less marks, but she knows that I've tried hard. So she would not scold me anything, she would help me study better.
Hmm. Yeah, and so it's very important that one, that your mom believed in you
Yeah.
and she knew that you are putting in that effort.
Hmm.
She knows that you are smart and you're capable of doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And she is pushing you from where you are to what you can be,
Yeah.
but without overwhelming you.
Yeah. She also got help from the right people in
Yeah.
school and the tuition teacher.
And there are a lot of therapists also that you went
Yeah.
to, right? You went to
Yeah.
an occupational therapist,
Therapist.
you met with remedial teachers, you
Yeah.
met with the school counselor, who all worked together as one unit to support you in
Yeah.
your journey in school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is an important thing that the parents should reach out to all the different types of therapists who can support their child for what they need,
Yeah. Right.
right? Is there anything else you think parents should do?
Yeah, sometimes it's better if you scold less. My mother did not scold me as much, but yeah, sometimes if you just, instead of scolding, if the parents just sit and talk to the child and explain,
Yeah,
I think that would be more effective.
that would be more effective. You are the child's parent, you have to discipline, but
Yeah,
also to reason,
yeah,
because children are smart, they understand what is happening,
yeah.
right? So, to reason with them, to have proper logic and understand why a behavior is happening or why there is difficulty and what we can do about it together.
Hmm.
Because you're a team, right?
Yeah.
And is there any advice you would like to give children who are realizing that they are struggling with something and they have difficulties with something? And how did you feel and how did you cope? Is there some advice you want to give them?
Yeah, I think they should practice regularly their writing, reading, or whatever they have difficulty in.
Hmm.
Seek out to the right people who can help them in the correct way,
Mm-hmm.
and try hard.
Yeah. So is it anything to be ashamed of
No,
that you are having difficulties? No.
no.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, and you shouldn't feel scared to ask for help, right?
Yeah, it's yeah.
The first step is asking for the help,
Mm.
to say that, yes, I'm struggling. Can you help me with this?
Yeah, that's it.
And then we are hoping that their parents would have listened to this podcast or to more people, and they know that, yes, to believe their child and to believe in them and to seek help from school, from the special educator, remedial educator, counselor, whoever is available at that point,
Mm.
or talk to the teacher to start with to get help.
Yeah, I feel seeking out help is the most important thing, and the guidance of correct people.
Yeah. So it is important. Do you think that every child can get along with every therapist or every teacher?
No, not at all.
No. So not at all, right?
Each child is different. Each teacher is different. Everyone is a different personality.
Yeah, and everyone learns differently. So it's okay that you visited a therapist and things didn't work out. You try another therapist at that point in time,
Yeah.
right? But in class, then you figure out what are ways that you learn best.
Mhm.
and then to try and learn the work in that fashion.
Yeah.
Do you think your horse riding has helped you cope with your difficulties in any form?
Yeah, I felt my horse riding as a way of doing something which I'm good in.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me concentrate more, feel good about myself more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And also, we figured that you were more present in class.
yeah,
You were more attentive in class, especially when you've gone horse riding in the morning before coming to school. You
yeah.
used to wake up.
That was a
Yeah, you want to share that experience?
that was a way of getting out my energy.
Yeah, all that excess energy that you have inside you,
Yeah,
a good way of doing that for you worked to wake up at 4, 5 in the morning. What time did you wake up?
yeah, 5.
5 in the morning, go for horse riding, and then come to school at 8:30,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you were very attentive. You were even more open to do writing activities,
Yeah,
even though you didn't physically write, but even though you had to dictate, your thoughts were more present. You were more organized and more open to listening to different things than you were before that, right?
right.
So then that is another thing that parents, teachers, and other kids can keep in mind as well, that to encourage your child to do something they're good at.
Yeah,
Instead of just focusing on things that are tough for you, focus on the things that are working well and encourage them to do a lot more in that as well,
yeah. That's true.
right? So, are you looking at doing something with horses in the future?
Yeah, in the future I'm gonna get higher studies in this field only, in horse riding field, and I'm gonna try to pursue my passion in this field.
Which is awesome. You're trying to convert your hobby into a profession. And
Yeah,
and I'm sure you will do really well in something you really believe in.
yeah.
And yeah, it's awesome. So,
Mm.
is there something that happened in online school which was very different from offline school? Like, did you need different kind of support in online school to cope with that?
Online school for me I felt online school was extremely boring to
Yeah.
stare at one screen. I could
Mm-hmm.
not sit in one place for a long time, and it was hard to concentrate.
Yeah, it was a lot more difficult to focus.
Yeah.
So, what helped you focus?
Teachers were very supportive. They used to get back to me after the class, or they used to take some extra time after the school to get back to me to check
Yeah,
out if I understood stuff.
and that was helpful.
Mm.
Are you excited that school is becoming offline again and that you have to visit school in person?
Yeah, it's fun. Good fun to meet friends.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's easier to concentrate.
Yeah, easier to concentrate. It helps when you see the person in front of you that is talking.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, any story that you want to share from your journey, or anything else that you want to share with the listeners that you feel they should know before we end the episode?
Yeah, which helped me in school, my riding played a big part to help me in school.
Yeah.
As I used to go in the morning before school, just before school. I used to come directly from the stables to the school. I used to change my clothes in the car.
Yeah.
That was a different experience.
Yeah.
That was a different experience.
Different experience and for the good. That it's, I'm very happy that,
Yeah,
you were able to explore that as an option, as something that may have worked for you, and thankfully it did work for you.
yeah.
So you could go ahead with that. So encourage your children to pursue their passions, right?
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Focus on the strengths and use the strengths to
Yeah,
then cope with the difficulties.
yeah,
I think that's the takeaway I'm going to take from your interview.
yeah.
So, thank you so much, Ruhan, for having this conversation with me,
Mm.
and wish you all the very best and hope you do something really cool with horses and keep us updated. And hopefully, we'll have you back on the podcast to tell us what are the new exciting
Yeah,
things that you're up to.
yeah, sure, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Inclusion with Mansi. If you've enjoyed listening to today's episode, do share the podcast with your family and friends or anyone you think that may benefit from it. I would love to hear your feedback. You can connect with me on my Facebook page or Instagram at Inclusion with Mansi. You may also email me at inclusionwithmansi@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, remember to share our similarities and celebrate our differences.